Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the House of Worship Technology YouTube channel. I'm Matt McQueen and this is another episode of Church Tech Tip Tuesday. Today what I want to talk about is the difference between balanced and unbalanced cables. I've been to some churches recently where I saw things like powered speakers connected to the snake with unbalanced cables, and that was one of the first things that I told them they could fix is by using an XLR cable or a TRS that was balanced. It would get rid of the hum or buzz. And so I think this is useful information. If you're going to be running sound or if you're a volunteer tech at your church, you should know the difference between a balanced and an unbalanced cable and know when and where to use one. So let me just first start by explaining how you can notice the difference. The most common unbalanced cable that you're going to run into is going to have probably 1/4-inch jack plugs on it, and it's going to be something that you're going to see the musicians using, whether it's a bass player or a guitarist, electric guitarist, acoustic guitarist, plugging in from their instrument to a direct box or to a pedal board, and that's going to have a 1/4-inch jack plug on it with a tip and a sleeve. You'll know a 1/4-inch TS cable by the one black line or sometimes one white line that you will see dividing the tip on that cable from the sleeve on the cable. You could also see an RCA cable as being a unbalanced cable. It's got the prong in the middle and then the ring around the outer edge. So an RCA cable can also be an unbalanced cable. Inside of an unbalanced cable, you're going to have two wires. One is going to be for the audio signal itself, and then the other wire is going to carry the ground. All right, and so then we've also got balanced cables. Now, a balanced cable is going to be an XLR cable, like what you would use on your microphone, or a TRS 1/4-inch cable, and that's going to look exactly like the TS 1/4-inch plug that we saw before, but the difference is going to be that the TRS cable is going to have a tip, ring, and a sleeve, and you're going to be able to tell the difference between a TS 1/4-inch cable and TRS 1/4-inch cable by the two black lines that you're going to find on the TRS cable. That's what's going to separate the three parts: the tip, the ring, and the sleeve. So in a balanced cable there are three wires, where in an unbalanced cable there are two wires. And remember, before I said that the unbalanced cable has one wire for the audio signal and one wire for the ground. Well, the balanced cable has two wires for the audio signal and one wire for the ground. And this is how it works. Let's say that you are singing, and you're singing into your microphone, and you've got that XLR cable plugged in, and it's 25 feet long, and then it plugs into a stage pocket that's also hardwired into a snake or into a long cable run, and that's going back to your mixer, and it's 150 feet from your microphone all the way to the mixer that's at front of house. The potential for noise exists in that run. And if you were using an unbalanced cable, it would be noisy. It would pick up maybe electrical noise or maybe radio frequency leakage, and it would not be what you would want. You want your voice to be clear, you want it to be able to be heard, and so that is why balanced cables are important, because this is how it works. You're singing into that microphone, and you've got one of the ends plugged into there. And so you've got the two audio cables and then the one ground. What happens is it leaves your microphone and enters into the XLR cable. The polarity of one of the two audio signals is reversed, and it's traveling along the cable, and then maybe it's going underneath the stage, and there's some place where potentially electrical noise could be picked up. What happens when you've got two audio signals and one of them, the polarity is reversed, it cancels each other out. It nulls them out, because one of the audio signals, the waveform is going up and coming back down. The other audio signal is the exact opposite, with the polarity reversed, is going down and then coming back up. Cancels each other out. So that's your voice traveling along this wire. One of the cables is positive, one of the cables is negative. It's going to pick up some sound, some noise, electrical noise maybe, along the way as it heads to the mixer. On the other end, the polarity of that second wire gets reversed back again. And so you have then two copies of your voice with, let's say, a positive waveform, and the noise is positive on one side and negative on the other. therefore canceling out the noise and retaining a very strong and clear signal of your voice as it comes through that microphone. So that is why balanced cables are very cool, and why they work, how they work, to preserve the sound that you're sending through the XLR and get rid of noise. So I hope this was helpful. I would encourage you, if you have some hums, if you have some buzzes in your system, this is a great place to look. Let's see if you have 1/4 inch TS cables or some type of unbalanced connector connecting the mixer or whatever the source is to the output, and see if that's where your buzz comes. I was just in a church a couple of weeks ago where they had a guitar cable running from the snake to a powered Bose speaker, and it hummed like crazy. Swapping out that cable for an XLR or a TRS that is balanced would immediately fix that problem. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If you've got comments, leave them below in the description. I would love to talk to you, and thanks. I'll see you next Tuesday.